Welcome back. It's still Global Morning, and these are different segments where we bring you a discussion segment. And I told you we had lots to talk about on this particular segment. I have my guest sitting with me in the studio, and today we're looking at the new era for sports journalism. There's a whole lot happening. The Sport Association of Nigeria just celebrated its 60th anniversary, marking 6 decades of reportage and also giving you all the necessary information. Everything you see around from Nigeria and across coming from sports has been coming from a particular group of people called the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, and they've given you the best of it. And it was high time they got to celebrate themselves. I'm part of them, so I'm not going to say they. We got to celebrate ourselves on what we've been doing so far in sport journalism. And I have with me in the studio in person of the Secretary General of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, in person of Ikenna Okonkwo. It's good to have you in the studio, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and as well a privilege after a week-long celebration and of course the anniversary for Swan, which is 60 years.
Okay, so we had a lot of preparations put in for this particular celebration because we knew it was worth celebrating. 60 years shows that it has to be hard work, a lot of sweat, tears put down for that because of the passion we have for sport journalism. So let's talk to you about it. Yes, we want to see sports development, but what is it for you as an association when it comes to sport development in Nigeria?
Yeah, so it's a holistic thing. Sports, it's like I used to say, it's like a palm tree. If you look at the palm tree, there's no part of the palm tree that is not economically viable, or economically advantageous, or talk about being resourceful.
True.
So that is how sports is. And so it stands on 3 tripods. The tripod of administration, the tripod of on the field action, talking about the athletes, the tripod of media. The media is like the fulcrum, standing in between the athletes and the administrators. Then the administration also involves, talking about the behind the scenes stuff, sponsorship talks, partnership talks, trying to do refereeing training, coaches training, all of those stuff that would now make the athletes to come forth and become the best of who they need to be. So sports development in this country and of course beyond is one that everybody should pay attention to.
Sure.
Incidentally, it has not been paid attention to the much that is needed. Because normally, every government, every institution, every corporate body should be involved. All hands
must be on deck.
Should be on deck. Because why? Sports is a thing for everybody. Whether you are a graduate, whether you are an illiterate, whether you went to school, whether you didn't go to school, whether you are short, whether you are tall, whether you are fat, whether you are
chubby, I like to be chubby,
or slim, even if you are dumb or deaf, whatever you are challenged in any way, anything about any human being breathing, has one thing or the other he or she can do with sports. And that's why you have deaf sports, you have sports for the physically challenged, you have sports for even those that are having health issues like polio. And it's just multifaceted. Incidentally, in Nigeria, it is something that we have not really paid attention the way it ought to be. Like other parts of the world, even other parts of the continent, Africa. If you go to North Africa, you see what sports has turned into, business, every man's business. Go to, even to an extent, East Africa. Then Southern Africa, Botswana, South Africa itself. Then go to Europe. Go to South America, go to North America. Go to Asian countries. sports has become so vital that virtually can anyone do without it, because it puts food on the table of people. It makes people get focused. It gives people direction. It tries to put anxiety out of the people. Even the much insecurity that we are talking about in this country, should the government pay adequate attention to sports? If we are having 10 incidences of insecurity every week, be sure it will come down to either one or two.
Okay.
That is, if it will not entirely
Eliminated.
I'm just saying in this worst case scenario, you just have maybe 1 or 2 incidences, which means the other 8 are gone. That is what sports can do. So celebrating Swan at 60 is celebrating sporting media excellence. We have been on the vanguard of preaching what I've just said now, some really, for the past 60 years. We have been talking about it, we have been analyzing it, we have been issuing statements, we have been, I have to leave church to be here because of sport.
Yeah.
The passion and everything. So it's so much important that the import is not something you can even, if you stay 1 week without even sleeping or eating, talking about what sports can do, you can exhaust it.
Okay. Well, I like the fact that it's celebration of excellence and the way of seeing sports stand tall in terms of its capacity and what it can give to the people. So let's look at it. Recently we had the change of guard for the federations, and you at the level of celebration for this had to award some people in them to show their quality they've given to sports. So let's look at the categories, because we had a whole lot of people who are awarded this who were given this awards, the awardees as well. So how was this looked into at the committee level as part of its celebration for excellence for sports?
Yeah, so we look this event for the record, apart from being that Swan turned 60 after its establishment in 1964, this kind of event hasn't happened.
Okay.
I mean, the event of this magnitude, where the entire 36 states and FCT were involved. I mean, involvement in terms of sports journalists themselves and even non-sports journalists.
Okay.
The entire 36 states, I mean, no state is left out or was left out in the celebration.
Okay.
And, in the planning, like you talked about the awards committee, there's a spread of disease geopolitical zones. All right. And every state was meant to make nominations. Every state was meant to look at the outcome of what eventually turned, or the number that eventually turned it was, it came to be at the end of the day, which the awards committee put together. They had a way they communicated back to state to say, or to ask questions of people, to inquire, to find out the degree and of sort of impact that the nominees had made in the past, including journalists, including non-journalists, athletes, and the likes. So the whole process was subjected to all manner of, scrutiny, all manner of arguments, all manner of analysis.
Okay.
Initially, we wanted to subject the number to be minimal, at most 60 people, both journalists and non-journalists.
Okay.
But in another school of thought, and of course, expanded outlook and, looking at the whole thing, we discovered that, coming from the angle of Swan, in the last 8 years of Swan, in the last 10 years of Swan, the last about 12, 13, 14 years of Swan, I don't want to talk about 15 years and beyond.
Okay.
I'm talking about in the last about 14 years.
14, 13 years.
There have been so much of some discordant tunes.
Okay.
Due to the leadership that we've had, both at the state level and up to the national level.
Okay.
And so we took over about 2 years ago. And we've tried to mitigate or mediate, if you like, over complaint issues that we met as a leadership. So it became like a multifaceted issues all over the places. And, virtually every state had one thing or the other. Then up to the point of, our relationship with the NUJ, which you are aware of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here to say everything, but understand that there was some level of
Fractions and
factions, issues here and there. In fact, as I said to you, they have not been entirely nipped in the bud. But if they were 100 before, we've been able to get it down to about 90.
Awesome.
Just within 2 years.
Okay.
Now, it became so much that even while we were planning this event, we also looked into the possibilities of a lot of things. So, while we narrowed down to have about 60 persons recognized or not, we also, sought opinion. We also looked at the issues on the ground. So we found out that doing only 60 will also tend towards, trying to fracture ourselves.
Okay.
What we have already put in place, the process we have put in place to reconcile, to put everybody on the same table and to have common understanding. So when we looked into, the reasons, we now, in that discussion with the committee, we have to just open it up. Because by the time if we had subjected or, if we became so strict with the 60, that 60 will not capture the various
categories of people.
It will not capture the interest that we have tried to rally over the 2 years.
Okay.
It will not also, give it that, that push for us to achieve that we wanted to achieve.
Okay.
So everybody will agree that we met a lot, we had a lot that we met on ground. So we now open it up to capture, we are at the risk of, not being so much, I'm looking at for a word that I want to use to buttress my point. But the entirety of it is that let's not do it in a way that some people we are trying to gather, we are trying to bring to the house together, who are also meritorious, who merit being awarded or being honored. Let's not be like we are still trying to push them by the side.
Okay.
Do you get it? So some people will still, if we didn't open it up to accommodate as many as possible that are of merit of this same honor, if we don't bring them on the same table, if we don't honor them, it will try to negate the effort we have made over the 2 years.
Okay.
Also while trying to celebrate ourselves.
I see.
Do you get the reason?
I see.
So when you hear people complain, they don't know, they are not seeing what we saw. Or they didn't see what we saw.
Because looking at the crowd that came in just 2 days ago, not yesterday, it was massive. And the excitement,
over 1,000.
Yeah, it was interesting because I saw club owners, I saw sponsors, and the excitement that the fact that people came with their spouses, family, to say, I'm being honored by Swan.
Yeah.
Please can you come?
Some people came with as many as
so, and I was looking at the fact that for me, it was a fulfillment for these people, the awardees who were collecting the award, to feel that the fact, as some people said, I've been in Swan the last 30, 40 years, and I was like, this is a huge one, and for the first time in their lives,
and it made several impacts
in sports journalism. So it is good. I applaud Swan because for me it is one thing for people to work, is another thing for the person to be appreciated, knowing the impact or the value addition the person has brought in to that particular field. So it's a plus to Swan that we had the opportunity to celebrate ourselves, celebrate the stakeholders. Like you mentioned, is on a tripod stand, is administration, there's the athletes, and also there's the journalists who also make it what sports should be like. So it shows, like I said, there's also a change of guard. And those who have walked across time, you were able to look at it. And then we had where we had the 36 states. That's a huge huge commitment where all the states came with the chairman and secretaries to show that everybody is carried along.
Do you know that we even, it's a whole lot. We even try to persuade some people not to come.
Of course, because we know the crowd that will
and they insisted on coming. In fact, we told them we don't have transport arrangement for them. We don't have accommodation arrangement for them. That is those that will ask not to come. They insisted on coming, paying their way through for everything.
That's great.
Just to witness this and to have a feel of it.
You know, for the good thing, the good look going forward from what I see is that, like you said, your leadership role has been the last 2 years. And for everyone that understands how sport journalism is, there's always, on sports, there's always chaos, there's always factions across the different sports that we play across. But for the fact that in the last 2 years, you've been resolving and building unity and home base for the coverage or the reportage of sports to stand tall. And this celebration shows the efforts you have put in. Because if you had not put in all of those things, the house that is scattered cannot stand.
Can't come together.
They can't come together. That's why he said it's better we stand in unity for us to achieve a greater goal. And that showed purely in the celebration that happened.
Yeah, so of what essence will it be? Like for a few they were criticizing.
Yes.
And they didn't care to ask. Or they didn't care to know. Or they didn't ask. What value will it add to the association?
Yeah.
If we had stuck with about 60 people, just about 60 of them who are few.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the event, we have much in our hands
to deal with.
And of course, even the things that we try to, do in the past 2 years. Of what essence will it be that the event will now make us to be more fractionalized? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
So we looked at all of this to ensure that even at the end of the day, we still had up to about 50% of people, or let's say 40, who we couldn't eventually honor.
Honor that day.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there were still many people, but we tried to get as many as possible. So that when anybody look at it from
let's say from a scale of 100.
Yes, a neutral point of view, they will say, the person will say, you have tried your best.
Okay.
Do you understand? There's no how everybody will be.
Carried along, of course.
It will be honored at this time because by next year we'll still have.
This is the first time, so it is always the first time for everything.
Yeah. So next year, next 2 years, we'll still have an event put together who should be at about this level too.
Okay.
So we can use those times to also bring in some of the people that are not being able to, make it this time.
Okay.
I even those that I saw a few of them come around.
Okay.
I don't want to mention their names. Some are in Abuja, some from Lagos. They came around. They had that merit for honor. Okay. But we couldn't capture them. But they still came to show
solidarity. It shows interest.
So it shows that we're able to spread and to. They were not honored, but they saw the sincerity that we have put in place.
Okay.
To ensure that we accommodate as many as possible.
Okay.
And then with that, they were able to have some understanding and of course, even like I said, pay their way through. Make sure they were involved and in one way or the other supported the organization.
Okay, so let's look at the states. We had some governors who have done well in terms of promoting sports, and I saw the categories where some honors were given to those governors, and even those who are owners of club, like I mentioned, who were also honored to see their contribution at the grassroots level of sports development. And I like the fact that it was an all-inclusive sports. It wasn't just football alone, because the federations came in their numbers, the club owners came in with their supporters, and the state level, like I mentioned, also came in with their supporters and level. So how was this looked into? Because we talked about administration and the athletes and as well, and I saw some athletes who have been Olympians over the years and understand what this has been. So how was that factored into?
Okay, so I somebody was asking me, one of an Olympian, he won even a medal for Nigeria at the, I think it was 2006 Olympics, 2006 or 2008 Olympics. I don't want to mention his name, that's why I'm trying to recall the year. So when he got close to me during the event, he was asking me about a particular governor of a state. Okay, let me say the state, which is Adamawa. Okay. So for example, Adamawa State, the governor has built 3 stadia in the state. one each per geopolitical zone.
Okay.
And currently he's building one in the capital, Yola,
Okay.
which is about the size of what we see at Akwa Ibom,
Okay.
where the Super Eagles play. And he's about to commission it by this November or next month, December. In fact, he has invited us.
Okay.
But we are waiting for the exact date which they will communicate us. Now, this person, as I was telling him this, he didn't know.
Oh, great.
And I didn't. That's why I said, I don't know. Some people are managing that government, that is Adamawa State government, and people don't know what the government is doing. If not, that we had the information from our chapter in
Adamawa State.
It was true.
So it shows the growth.
So
and development.
Such a government, a state government has done this much, and that is aside sponsoring the human resources level, which is training coaches. This same government, this same state is where the coach of Fafakos comes from, the current coach, who just got his contract renewed some few days. That is Coach Justin Madugu. That is where he lives. As I talk to you, he came from there to be honored. Coach Madugu, you know what he did with the Falcons just a few months ago, where they won the WAFCON against all odds.
Yes.
So he lives there. In fact, he works under the payroll of the government, the state government. So, and you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So, that government has been able to provide infrastructure which has never been had of that state in the history.
Okay.
So, and I can go ahead talking about other governors or not. So, people don't get to understand some of these things, and to us, it's a big deal. For a governor, I don't know whether he has spent that many years. I don't know how many years he has spent.
Okay.
But for him to have provided this level
such kind of facility for people.
Do you understand? And he has gone ahead doing it, and he's still having some other things
in mind to put out.
Do you understand? Okay. And a government and a state that is not that rich, quote unquote, it's not an oil state, it's not a Niger Delta state, it's not all of this state that has so much. That have so much money. But the little resources that comes to him,
he's able to
deploy a good percentage of it to support development, which is what we are preaching. Why can't we honor him?
Okay. Well, there's a whole lot for a lot of Nigerians who are, like you said, if not for the chapter in Adama, we wouldn't have known all of this. So I see the fact that it's good to look at journalism in a different spectrum, look at it in a different dimension. For Swan at 60, it shows a 60-year-old man is not a baby. It shows a lot of experience, a lot of questions or challenges he needs to surmount. And I like the fact that the leadership at national level of Swan have understood that role of impact and how to lead people to greater goal. We have a whole lot coming up for us, but let's look at what's the way forward for Swan right now, because 60 people expect us to stand. And before I talk about the way forward, I know we're looking out for a proper structure for Swan. So how has this celebration been able to put in the mind of people to register that Swan should be honored with their own space? Because like I said, 6 years is not a small thing. Has this actually helped people to get the picture straight that Swan needs to have a place of its own that can be called, just like we have our cover body, the NUJ, did they buy into that? They didn't understand the dream of what we want for sport journalism as Swan.
And I always say a big yes. In fact, from one of the countries last night, I got a call from one of the awardees. As a matter of fact, he has an appointment in European. I've forgotten the country he said he is at right now.
Okay.
But he has to have the importance they are attached to Swan and the honor done to him. He had to wait till that Friday.
Okay.
Immediately he got his award, he went straight to the airport and flew out of the country.
Okay.
So he called me last night. He donated about 10 million to the event.
Okay.
To the appeal fund for our permanent secretariat.
Great.
So he called and said immediately he gets back in about a week or two, he's going to deliver on his promise, and that he's going to galvanize effort in terms of trying to rally people to ensure that we start that project immediately.
Okay.
So I'm trying to tell you, he's not our member. He's just one of he's a club owner. He owns 2 clubs in Nigeria, and he's also passionate about sports development. He's not in government actually.
But that's the beauty about the private sector embracing the development of sports in Nigeria, because like in Nigeria, across other other nations, we've seen how the private partnership works and how it has actually helped to boost the sport. That's taking the burden off the government that they don't put in so much. And like you said, it also puts food on people's table because you have the athletes benefiting from it, you have the stakeholders benefiting, and also have the journalists who do the coverage benefit from it. So for me, I see that as a plus. If more stakeholders from the private sector embrace the opportunity and invest in them, because it adds to them, it also adds to the nation, and everybody's happy.
Sure.
Obviously. So let's look at it going forward. Like I was trying to say earlier, going forward, what should we be looking forward to with Swan after this celebration?
So we are looking forward towards having a better Swan.
Okay.
A better sports development. You know, we are in a democratic system of governance or government in Nigeria. And as it is in most governments of the world, any government or any society that doesn't have a well-structured media operations, that government will have serious issues.
Okay.
Because it's the government that puts both the government and the society in check.
Okay.
We are the members of the fourth estate of the realm.
Okay.
So ours is to look at issues, look at things that happen, and bring it to fore.
Okay.
So by the time we do that, both the government and the people in the society are beneficiaries. So we are looking forward that, for example, in the next 10 years, we are going to up our ante in trying to, look into what is happening. What effort or what strategy are we going to evolve to ensure that we put serious check on those in this, like you talked about, election that happened recently in the various sport federations. Every 4 years, these elections hold, both for NFF, the football body, the body that coordinates football in this country, and every other 37, 38 sport federations that we have in this country. So this election just held, and we must move in to put those board members on their toes. Because what happens is that some of these board members or board structure, sport federation board structure, what they do is that once they get into that position, they see it as a platform to maybe further find a way or ways of, enlarging their nest or something, make themselves prominent or whatever, without necessarily addressing sport development issue at the grassroots. But because no sports development that can happen or that can be well structured without the grassroots being taken care of. So it's a whole lot of work that we have got. We have celebrated our 60 years. The next is that we must find ways, like I said earlier, of ensuring that we do our work more diligently. Make our impact felt the more. In the next 5-10 years, we should be able to set the tone for what this country will become. So when I travel out of this country, even as close as Kenya, Ethiopia, Botswana. I don't want to mention South Africa. I don't want to mention Morocco, Nigeria. Not that they are far per se, but they have advanced by far. Some of these countries in North Africa and South Africa are about at par with the European countries. Because of putting the best into their sports. Infrastructure-wise, they have human development, human resources, they have put in so much. But look at Kenya, look at Botswana, look at countries that ordinary Nigerians should dust in everything. We are still trying to meet up to their standard. So we hope that we get to their standard because Nigeria is too big a nation. We shouldn't be hoping to get to their standard. We should get to their standard. Leading in every. See, there is no sport. There are, like I told you, there are over 35 sports federations in this country today. Which means there are over 35 different sports. Now, sports federations, are the sports that already have a governing structure according to the laws of Nigeria. There are still sports that are still done that are yet to be integrated into the sporting structure of Nigeria. They are still there. There are over 10 of them. Do you understand? So we must find a way of ways of ensuring, because there is no sport in this country that you can't find a number of people in every community in this country, in every local government, in every state, that people can be developed to do them.
Okay, so the fact that I like the fact that we looked at the grand patrons, which we were able to bring on board as well. So it shows that Swan is ready to move forward and ready to stand tall and have proper guidance to structure and a guide to standing tall. It's not just going to be about at the level of the sport writers alone. We have the federation coming. We have the administration, like you mentioned, coming to play. So I would say congratulations to Swan, because it shows there's a thinking cap being put on to show that we're set to go forward and grow tall beyond what it is. So because like I said, 60 is no joke, and we've shown that in the display of what we had just 2 days ago, and it is worth celebrating. I don't know if I have anything to say to us, but I would say it's an amazing set of you. I said you have anything to share with us, Ambassador, but I know that Swan is ready to move forward beyond little foxes.
We have gone beyond the little foxes that spoil the vine. We are ready to not just to operate within the vine area, but to begin to shoot into harvest. I mean,
okay, it's harvest time.
Harvest, yeah.
Well, we look forward to the harvest and jumping at it. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We look forward to seeing how we flourish at the Swan level. Thank you so much, Ikenna. We've been speaking with Ikenna Okonkwo. I didn't even know they had this picture there.
Can you imagine? It was
unplanned, and we just had ourselves there. So it's congratulations to us, Swan, at 60, an amazing outing there at the event. And I've been speaking with the General Secretary of Swan, telling that Swan is set to fly, is set to harvest from its labor of love and passion. And we're looking forward to flash the flashlights and the harvest, the bountiful harvest, come to play as we move forward. Isn't that amazing here, time here on the discussion segment? We look forward to other activities in our rundown. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.